Integrated version control provides a self-service promotion capability, whereas an author can promote their own report to the next environment. This feature opens up two new use cases that are handled by Integrated Deployment Manager. One of the use cases is the ability to promote multiple objects at the same time. For example, not just a report version, but many reports, or folders, packages, jobs, shortcuts, any type of object in the content store. Second, self-service promotion is not always a desired feature in your environment. Perhaps we don't want authors or specific users to promote reports, and possibly we want to turn this self-service promotion feature off completely. Integrated Deployment Manager provides a tagging capability, whereas an author and administrator can collaborate with each other by tagging reports for promotion. Let's start by setting up a deployment project. We've created a project called Work Order 775 Deployment. A package and a handful of reports will be deployed on this project. We can select the link or the Set Properties button to edit this project, where we can supply a name, a description, specify which server this project will promote to when it is run, and then information about logging on to that target server. We can store credentials so that the project can be simply run at any time. We can prompt for credentials to log on to the target environment, or we can do an automatic logon. The automatic logon feature works nicely in environments where you can show two Cognos instances in the same browser session. If this is not possible, then either store or prompt for credentials. By choosing the box to allow authors to tag the report versions on this deployment, this will make this a public project. As a public project, authors will be able to tag this report for deployment directly in the Report Studio user interface when saving the report, or in the View Revision History dialog. Let's have a look at that now. I'm in Report Studio looking at Sample Report 2. And in here I'm going to make a change to this report and simply add a product image column. The time that I hit Save with Comments, I can provide the commentary as well as the change control number. In addition, I can choose the option Tag for Promotion. We have to select a deployment project. This user interface element will only appear if Integrated Deployment Manager is enabled, the user has the capability to tag reports for deployment, as we can control who and who does not have access to this, and third, the project must be one that allows users to tag reports for promotion. We can choose Work Order 775 Deployment and choose OK. Now if we access the revision history for this report, we can see that version 5 of the report has a green arrow with an asterisk. This icon indicates that the report is tagged for promotion. And if I choose to view this specific revision information, we can see the project tag Work Order 775 added on version 5 of the report. However, I've decided that I'm not certain that the new product image column can go up to the next environment just yet. So instead, I'm going to come over to version 4 of the report and tag that one for deployment instead. So you can see now the tag has moved from version 5 to version 4. Not only can Integrated Deployment Manager promote entire objects such as jobs, packages, folders, and reports, but for versionable artifacts, it can promote specific versions of reports. As an author, I've done the work that I needed to do on the report and tagged the report for promotion. This is now in the administrator's hands. Back over in the IBM Cognos Administration Console, we can reopen our Work Order 775 deployment and head over to the Tagged Versions tab. From here, the administrator can see that RE has tagged 3 reports: Sample Report version 8, Add Color Report version 9, and Sample Report 2 version 4. By hovering over the reports, you can see the full path and location of where these reports reside. You can also see the date and time stamp of when the report was modified, as well as the commentary and a few actions that the report administrator can perform. For example, the report administrator knows that it is okay to move the product image column to the next environment. So the administrator is going to choose the Select Version option on the right-hand side. And from here, the report administrator can modify the version number and update it to version 5. Ultimately, this screen is giving the report administrator the opportunity to have the final say as to what goes to the next environment and what does not. For example, the report administrator knows that the sample report version number 8 should not go to the next environment and is going to force remove that tag. Another use case that can be used for the report administrator here is that the report administrator can search for versions that were worked on a specific change of control number. For example, the administrator knows that a few reports were fixed under the change request number CR4489, and all of those report versions need to move to the next environment as well. The administrator can quickly see the 2 reports and few versions that were modified and select those versions to be added to the list. Before promoting this project, let's have a look at the other 2 tabs that we haven't seen yet. The Properties tab describes information about how we want to promote this project. For example, there are many properties on objects: contact, owner, description, as well as security. We can choose which of these property sets we want to promote to the next environment here. Also, if a change control system exists in the target environment, we can change the version change control number at the bottom here. We have the option to copy the report version's change control number as the change control number that will be used when promoting the report, or we can supply one now. For example, if we want all of the deployments to be deployed on the same change control number, 5678, we can enter that information here. By doing that, the individual change control number on each version will be copied to the version comments dialog if this checkbox is checked. The version comments text box provides an area where I can provide global commentary to be supplied on every single report version that's spiked in the target environment. With the copy version comments when promoting, the individual version comments on each report that's promoted will be copied beneath this global commentary. Usage of these options will provide a consistent change control number and commentary in the target environment when objects are promoted in bulk. The Selected Objects tab provides an area where you can choose a report, a folder, a package, or any object in the IBM Cognos Content Store to be deployed to the target environment. By choosing Add Folders, we can select packages and individual folders in bulk. By choosing Add Reports, we can navigate down to individual reports and select those in bulk. And finally, if the object that you're selecting is outside the scope of a folder, package, or report type, we can choose Select Any Object and navigate down and select a job, or shortcut, or URL link. Integrated Version Control and Integrated Deployment Manager integrate nicely between the tagged versions capability. However, Integrated Deployment Manager is a product that stands on its own. Without Integrated Version Control, the tagged versions capability is not available, but you can still use Integrated Deployment Manager to promote objects to the target environment in bulk. Now that we've specified our job, package, and a handful of tagged reports to promote, it's time to promote our project. Choosing the play button will run this deployment. An automatic logon dialog pops up and immediately disappears because of my single sign-on. And when I view run history, we can see that there's a new run history item in here. The status indicates that this is a successful deployment, and I can choose the View Details button to see the individual details for this deployment. Several reports and some versions were promoted to the target environment, each being successful. Back in the Run History list, I can choose to rerun a deployment. Rerunning a deployment is useful if problems occur during the deployment. After correcting those problems, we can go rerun that deployment. I can also choose to download the deployment report. The deployment report will give me an indication as to what was successful, what was failure, and what moved to the target environment.